Amapreneurs, and welcome to today's episode of Amapreneurship, your soul-driven life approach to entrepreneurship and soulpreneurship. In today's episode, what are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about the fire within.
Oh yeah.
And how do you keep this motivation? How do you stay focused? How do you get energized?
Yes, this is my absolutely favorite topic.
Mine as well.
Yes. And it's an energizing episode. So today we have, what was it?
It's a ginger shot.
Oh, yeah, of course, it's ginger shot.
If you feel sleepy, just drink your ginger shot.
It's for your immune system also.
I love it.
Yeah, it's really cool. And also, chia seeds with Bulgarian yogurt. It have...
The Bacillus bulgaricus.
Yes, exactly. Probiotics.
You know, this bacteria only lives in Bulgaria and only here because it's in the air. I remember when I was little, my mom would take this like a milk, normal milk.
Yes, like a cow milk, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she would put it under a blanket, a special blanket from Eastern Europe. And we wait for 24 hours and then you uncover the blanket and it's yogurt.
I've never actually saw a person doing this. It's not fermentation. I don't know what is it exactly.
So only because of this bacteria is in the air.
Oh, it's in the... Oh, yes. Yeah.
I guess. And then it becomes yogurt. But this cannot happen in Japan. They need to import the bacteria.
Oh, they have amazing ads actually about it. I don't know, have you ever watched them? I don't remember exactly the name of the product, but they have so cool ads. We used to watch them in university. It's very cool.
Well, we have our Bacillus bulgaricus to be proud of. So I love it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh my god!
It's so spicy.
Oh,
I think you forgot to shake it.
that hurts. No!
My favorite is savory. I know you like sweet, but I love this type of flavors. I think there's something wrong with me.
I think there's something wrong with me. Or with the person who did this. I don't know. Okay. I feel energized for sure.
Well, this energy is now in the air because it's springtime. And
Finally.
yeah, but some people do have this spring exhaustion. Have you heard of this?
Oh yes, spring exhaustion. I've never experienced it actually.
I think I did when I was like a teenager. I remember I would be like so cranky all the time during springtime. My mom would say, this is the spring exhaustion. But I don't have that anymore. Maybe something was wrong with my balance and hormones and everything. And now I've cracked it.
Maybe. Yes.
Or maybe too much gluten.
Maybe. Or the hormones. Because
Yes.
you were a teenager, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, that's probably.
Yeah.
I used to have those problems also, but in the autumn. But it happened that I have anemia. I think it's the same in English.
Ah,
As in Bulgarian,
yeah.
anemia.
Yeah, you're lacking iron.
Yes, exactly. That's why I'm still drinking iron actually. Yeah. And when I actually, take my supplements, I feel much better.
I have problem taking my iron because I read that you need to take the iron with something citrusy, and because I'm fasting in the morning, I'm like, if I drink this citrusy, I'm gonna break my fast. So I actually don't take my iron, and sometimes I remember but too late. And it should be the first thing you have, right? In the morning, you should take the iron.
Yes, I'm taking it as the first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
But actually, to be honest, I'm taking it after my vitamin D because, just my vitamin D stays in the bathroom and my iron stays in the kitchen. That's the only reason why I'm taking it in this way.
For vitamin D is very interesting. My mother-in-law, she's sort of like a shaman. She knows everything about supplements, astrology, and homeopathy. So I'm very happy with her, and I'm blessed to have her in my life. But in Holland, you know how dark it is.
Yes.
So most people are iron deficient, and she told me that when you take your vitamin D and vitamin D deficient, I'm sorry,
Oh, okay.
when you take your vitamin D, it should be more than 2000 international units, so very high dosage, and it cannot hurt you. And she always orders it from the US because in Europe they don't sell it in this high dosage. So she would like order it or smuggle it from the US and give us this high dosage of vitamin D.
This is crazy.
Mm.
But yes, I remember when I used to study in Russia many years ago, and some of my, the students I used to study with, they came to Bulgaria for like for a month, I think, every summer. It was like I don't know, like a medical camp for them to take vitamin D. That was crazy, but yeah, they had a huge lack of vitamin D.
Huge deficiency of vitamin D.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, many people do nowadays. Yeah.
So let's kick off with something, once again, something very important and something I love, my favorite for sure. Physical activity. And what about yours?
Physical training.
Yes.
I love physical training. If I go to the gym or my yoga studio, and if I feel like I'm, I have to feel like this is the last day that I'm living. So I'm half dying, I'm half alive, and otherwise I don't leave the house. What's the point? So it needs to be super intensive training for me to get out of the house and go training. So I usually do power yoga or Bikram yoga.
What Bikram yoga is?
Yeah, I started with Bikram yoga a few years ago, and that's how I started to love yoga. And it came into perfect time in my life because I was exhausted, I was cranky, I was constantly shouting at my kids, constantly shouting, smacking doors, one of these crazy mothers. And I started going to Bikram 7 in the morning with a friend of mine. She introduced me. And it's actually almost 40 degrees inside.
What? In the room?
Yeah, and you do for 1 hour and a half all the asanas. You repeat twice, and there's a certain number of asanas, of positions that you do for 1 hour and a half in this extreme heat. And halfway there, you think you're just gonna faint and you're not gonna be able to walk anymore. And super intense. And after Bikram yoga, I just sit there on the bed in the dressing room to process. And then I can take a shower and start getting dressed. And usually it takes me hours to process what happened to me. And it balances everything in your life, your nervous system, your whole body. I think this is what transitioned my body into a next level. And now I don't do so much Bikram, but I do power, hot, usually focused on the core type of exercises in the yoga studio, and also with a very, very good teacher. It needs to be a teacher which is high level, and I like his voice. I usually like male teachers. So now I have this teacher who's an ex-rugby guy from South Africa.
Okay.
And yeah, like he's huge with long blonde hair, with muscles, and the way he talks. He also has this philosophical thing that he finishes with. And you're laying there after you've worked so hard and you're so sweaty and you're so happy with yourself. And then he tells you something really philosophical that you're thinking, how does he know what I'm going through? He exactly to the point. So this is something which gives me so much pleasure, and I think that's the best. If you can find in your physical training something that you like to do. that gives you the motivation to go again and again and again. Sunday morning, I don't miss that class at 10 o'clock. No matter how much we've partied Saturday night, no matter how exhausted you are, I just leave for my Sunday morning class. And I have other classes during the week, but the Sunday morning is the one which is the most difficult to go to. But afterwards, it's just such a reward.
Yes, I also think loving what you do in every aspect of your life, actually, but in physical training, it's really important. And also used to have this like love to like hard physical trainings that are taking everything out of you. But what happened to me was that I was doing CrossFit like 4 to 5 times a week, I think.
That's very fanatic, CrossFit.
Yes.
It's like a community.
Yes, that's right. It was crazy, but I was all about it. I loved my workouts. I loved the people I was doing those workouts with. I loved my trainer. It was a Ukrainian girl. She's amazing. I love her. We still communicate. But what happened during this 1 year while I was doing those workouts is that I started gaining so much weight, like almost 10 kilograms for 1 year. And many people would say, yes, girl, those are muscles, and you are like 40 kilograms, but no, they were not muscles. What actually happened to my body was that I have very high levels of cortisol in my blood because, as we all know, I have a bit of a crazy life, doing many things are happening around me, and I'm stressed most of the time. I'm working on this, and I feel much better right now, but back then I had very high stress levels, and what was happening to my body was that I had this high cortisol, and when I was working out this very, I don't know how to explain, high intensive workouts, my cortisol levels were going even more higher. And what was happening in my body actually was that my body was so stressed that it couldn't let go those, body fats, but keeping it. So what happened was that I gained weight from working out, those kind of workouts that help people to lose weight. So that's why I actually started working with a health coach, and we did many tests, like everything. We tested so many things in my body, and we saw where do I have problems, what kind of supplements should I start taking, and what kind of workouts work for my body. Because many people, there is this stigma, this thing is healthy, and this thing is maybe healthy for you, but it's not going to be healthy for me. Yeah. For example, me and my boyfriend, when we start living together, we used to have this same diet. We used to eat the same food because we are living together. We are all the time together. Yeah. And this diet was amazing for him and for his body, but it was really bad for my body actually. So that's why we created another diet for me, not exactly diet, but a way of living life and consuming food. I started doing stretching and Pilates, and that kind of workouts that were not increasing my cortisol levels. So after that, my body started changing so fast. Like I lost this weight that I had, also this cellulite also. And it was life-changing for me. So I want to tell with this that every human being has his own needs. His own body could do different kinds of workouts. For you, CrossFit could be amazing. For someone else, cardio could be amazing. For someone else, could be like for me, Pilates and stretching. But it's very important for every person to find which thing works for himself.
Yeah.
So this was my journey, and I'm actually really happy that I started working with a professional, because many people, they ignore this part, the medical part of the medical side of the things, and they're focusing on Instagram videos of people explaining them what to do. And it's amazing because they're giving great advices that are going to help someone probably, but they are not going to help you. So my advice is for sure to check your own body needs.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, and also listen to your body.
Yes.
Last year, so I'm doing my power yoga and I started doing the fitness because after 40, lifting weights is great, building that muscle.
Mm-hmm.
But I was working so hard and it was winter time.
Mm-hmm.
And I had so much stress and these hardcore workouts that at the end I had a panic attack. I thought I'm just gonna die. So I was sitting on the couch, kids were next to me, and I said to Matthijs, take me to the hospital. I think I'm having a heart attack. And I was like, I couldn't breathe. And yeah, it was terrible. I never imagined this could happen to me. And everybody, my mom was like, how can this happen to you? You're constantly, you're taking such good care of yourself. And then I realized what I did wrong is in the winter time, you need to slow down also. So now I do a lot of yin yoga. In the evening, I stay in one position for a very long time. Yin is working on the fascia and the meridian, so everything starts flowing in your body nicely to balance it out. And I would do my core training and hardcore exercise, but also have the yin. And sometimes when I feel, okay, it's too much, during the practice, I also slow down and say, okay, maybe I'm not gonna try headstand today. I'm just gonna take it easy. And listening to your body is so important. And also cardio. For women after 40, cardio is not good. The static exercises, the stretching, the Pilates, the reformer Pilates, the yoga, and lifting weights. That's what I'm focusing on now.
Yes, I think to include lifting weights also soon. I'll check when can I put it in my schedule, but this is a good thing to do for yourself.
It's boring.
I also feel this way. I love those group workouts.
Yeah.
When you are surrounded by people.
Yeah, it gives you the energy. The energy of the room is amazing. I love the group workouts and I usually go. For me, it's really important who I'm next to. And then we flow together usually. So we don't look at each other, maybe we don't know each other, but you can see like we're both the same tempo. He or she waits for me and I wait for her or him, and then we flow together. It's amazing. And you feel the energy of the whole room. It's really nice.
That's amazing. Yes, and something else that I know is very important for you, because you're uploading it very often in your stories in Instagram, is your 10-10-10.
Yes.
And this is, I think this is something very important as well, the affirmation thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The affirmation thing, I associate energy with the morning. For me, energy is in the morning, so having a good start of the day that lifts you up also mentally, it's very important, because I used to wake up and I have no desire to get out of bed, especially in the Netherlands where it's so dark. And you wake up, it's dark, you finish work, it's dark, it's constantly dark. So I had no desire to get out of bed. And then I would get slowly out of bed, I would look at my phone, and then I would just disappear in the phone. And then it's 3 hours later, I'm in my pajama, and what's happening? And then I look at my clock, I haven't done any work, and I have to pick up the kids at 12 o'clock or something like that. So I started being very strict what I do in the morning. So I learned this from a good coach of mine, the 10-10-10 method. So you do 10 minutes of meditation,
Okay.
you do 10 minutes of journaling, and then 10 minutes business reading. And afterwards, only afterwards, you look at your phone. So there's no digital involved, you know. Maybe the only digital is if you're reading on your Kindle or something, on your iPad, you're reading the book. But no social media, no emails, and meditation, it doesn't need to, you don't need to start with 1 hour, you know. Maybe you start with 5 minutes. So I'm doing this Deepak Chopra affirmation challenge. So it's 20 something days, but I just do it. Sometimes I pick up this episode or that episode, or I have a few other ones in my Spotify, and it doesn't have to be paid. There's so many free stuff out there.
Yes.
So I usually look at what voice I like, what person I like, you know, what music I like. I choose my meditation, and then I just dump everything on the page. And when I started journaling, I was like asking my friend, so what do I write? You know, about my feelings, what's the structure? And she said, there's no structure. You just write. Whatever comes to mind, maybe you don't even put full stop. You just write. And it can be a feeling that you have or how you feel right now. I'm cold and I hate this weather. Maybe it's negative, maybe it's positive. Maybe you're wishing somebody something. Maybe you're using what you've learned in the meditation to set some intentions for yourself. So it doesn't have to have any purpose or structure. And then you have this clear mind, which is completely pristine and open to receive. And then you read your business book or anything you want to learn, and you embrace it with open heart, and it stays with you the whole day. That's something which really helps me. Some people do the cold plunge.
I would love to try this, but I don't feel that brave right now, actually.
Yeah.
No.
Last summer we organized a retreat, and we had the Wim Hof method training, and it was amazing because first it started with theory. So the lady came out, she's an amazing lady, Anna, and she came out with a flip chart and with a marker. I was like, what's happening? And she explained the whole science behind it. So when you're doing the breathing, when you're doing the cold plunge, what actually happens to your body chemically. And she explained all that. Don't ask me to repeat it, but I did get it. And they keep doing research again and again with different universities. And then we lay down and we did a special breathing. I think it's called the jungle breath. You can also look it up on YouTube, jungle breath Wim Hof. There's
Okay.
a bunch of stuff you can try. The thing is, you need to know what you're doing, and maybe you're laying down better because you might get dizzy. So we started breathing the whole room. Some people were screaming, moaning. At the end, we were all crying. We were so high on your own supply. And she was guiding us into the level of the subconsciousness. And at some point, she said something about the ancestors or the people we've lost. So I saw my whole family from generations before on a cloud looking down at me. Everybody I lost, they were there. So I burst into tears. And afterwards, we did the cold plunge. So we knew how to breathe.
You were prepared.
Yeah. And we went into the water. You need to stay there for 2 minutes. And I thought I'm prepared because I usually go to the Dutch sauna and I do the cold plunge after the sauna. I do cold showers after yoga. I was like, I got this. But you go into this ice water and you want to escape. You think you're suffocating. It's very, very scary at the beginning. Your survival instinct kicks in and you're like, no, this is not for me, I'm gonna die, I have to get out. And then she encourages you, she helps you with the breathing, and you fire within. So everything from the inside fires up, and you're able to stay there. And I started smiling, and I went all the way with my head. That's the best, if you can go all the way. And some people even have problems because you can stay at some point when you crack this breathing, you don't feel the cold anymore. So you have to be careful to come out.
This sounds very scary.
Yeah. And afterwards we were like, I don't know, like we've taken a drug or something. That was the best party in my life. We started singing. There was no alcohol, no drugs. It was amazing. I recommend it. But the full experience, the whole day workshop with the science, with the breathing, with the cold plunge, it's a process, just like everything in life, right?
Yes, that's right. You should be prepared. I'm not prepared for cold plunges right now. I don't know when I'm going to be, but not right now. Maybe.
Yeah. And Wim Hof, he had a very difficult situation. I think his wife killed herself, and he was left with the kids and not knowing what to do. And he found this, saved his life.
Yeah, this is something, I don't know, like a moment of your life that you're at your lowest, maybe. And this is a way to escape from there. So,
yeah,
you're probably going to this moment at certain point.
What about meditation for you and affirmations?
For me, it was once again a journey of finding myself. For example, I have a very strict night routine and a morning routine. And before I did these very strict routines, I didn't have such a thing. I was staying late on my phone, like even I was answering my clients at, for example, 11 p.m. That's not right, but yes, I stayed up late watching my phone and scrolling down Instagram, another not good thing to do before going to sleep. And then I decided to change this routine. So I decided telling and doing my affirmations at night before going to bed.
Yeah.
And in the morning, I started doing meditation to kick off the day. And because before that, I was like waking up, checking my phone if someone was calling, if something happened last night, what is happening to all of my clients' accounts and those kind of things. I was already stressed, like in the moment I was waking up. So I changed my routine. I did this thing. I started like doing affirmations during the night and doing meditation in the morning. But this routine didn't help me a lot. You know, I thought that I was doing something, but I was doing absolutely nothing, because going to bed when I'm doing my affirmations, I'm like, for example, I'm thankful and I'm happy that my family is healthy, for example. But, okay, they are healthy, but my mother used to have this, and my father, his back hurts, and his back hurts because we have this, but we need to change this. And you know, when you start doing those affirmations, even if you're talking about yourself and your body, you can tell to yourself, I have amazing body, but I have cellulite. I want to remove it. How to remove it? I should probably do Bella Shape 3 and those kind of things. And your brain is actually not going down. You're not going to sleep this way, but your brain starts working even harder, thinking about those things. And it was not the best way to go to bed at night. And in the morning, you know, you're waking up, and you have this energy and you want to do things, and what you're doing is sitting there trying to meditate, but you don't want to do this, because you want to do things, you want to work, you want to, you know, to change the world. And what I did back then was to make this one switch. I started doing meditation before going to bed and affirmations right after I woke up. So I also added some things to my night routine, and it's something that is more about the physical trainings. I started doing massages every night before going to bed, and they look like something like this: depuffing and draining your legs if you're like if you have this problem with the water in your body. It helps the lymph and those kind of things. So every night before going to bed, I'm doing 50 minutes leg massage.
50.
15. No, 50. This is very hard because, you know, your hands hurt very bad after this because
Yeah.
you're pushing this way. So I started doing this because while you're doing this massage, you're focused like this. You can't think about something else.
So are you already in bed in your pajama when you're doing this?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is right before going to bed because I'm doing it while I'm stand like something like this. I'm putting my leg on my bed and I'm doing them.
Uh-huh.
So it's right before going to bed.
Yeah.
And after that, I'm putting my legs on the low because this is another way to drain my legs and to help them release this water. So this is a crazy pose to meditate, but this is the way I'm meditating. I'm starting with this, like hitting my hands, putting them here, and this is my way to meditate. I do this for as long as I want.
Do you do guided meditation?
No, it's something that a yoga teacher taught me, but I'm doing it by myself. I'm doing it the way I feel it, because sometimes I'm even falling asleep while I'm doing it. So, yeah. And this is the way I'm actually falling asleep really easy, and I feel very nice, because in the morning when I wake up, my brain and my body, it feels like it actually, relaxed during the night, and it actually forgot everything that happened yesterday and those kind of things. And about my morning routine, I started first thing in the morning doing my affirmations, because I'm waking up my body, but I'm waking it up in my mind with good things. Like, I'm thankful for this, and I don't have this bad energy that I'm probably having in the last minutes of my day, because I'm waking up, I'm very pure, I'm very happy, my mind is free, and it's very nice. So I love morning affirmations, and after the affirmations, I'm doing 15 to 30 minutes workout. And it's a pajama workout because you just woke up, you don't need to get dressed to start working out. I'm just staying in the kitchen drinking my water like this. It's very good. Your body is waking up, and in a good way. And right after that, I'm probably going to read a book, and then I'm going to check my phone at the end.
Yeah.
I'm not starting my day with calling people or answering messages. And this little change in my life, like switching the meditation and the affirmations, actually was one of the greatest decisions I ever made.
That sounds amazing.
Yes.
I love how you keep observing yourself and improving things. I think you're a real biohacker. And you also look at the medical side and you do your research. It's great. I would never imagine to do this in your age, when I was your age. That's amazing. If one day I don't do my routine, everything goes down. I'm depressed. I hate myself. I don't want to wake up. I become cranky, and it doesn't have to be so complicated. I said to a girlfriend of mine, So I do this and I do that, my acupuncture mat, and I do my gua sha under the shower, and I do my dry brushing.
I love dry brushing.
Yeah,
Yes, I love it.
I love dry brushing, and I forget it sometimes, and every time I do it, I'm like, I should do this more often. But then this girlfriend of mine, she was like, when do you do all these things? When do you work? When do you, it's possible. Just ask yourself how long you've been on the phone. It's by the time you're done scrolling, I've already done it,
That's right.
Yeah. But it gives me such happiness, and I know exactly what to do to bring myself back into the good place, and I know exactly what's gonna bring me down. One day of missing this routine, I'm already sinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
I resonate with this deeply.
Yeah.
Routine is very important for you. It's like, you see that babies, for example, they need to have routine to feel good.
Yeah.
Because they have a routine for sleep,
Yeah.
they have routine when to eat, what to do, like for physical activity. And that way the baby feels safe. That way the baby feels like calm and safe. And when there is no routine, the baby is going absolutely crazy. For example, he's getting hungry at the moment that it's not okay to be hungry, maybe, or those kind of things. So we as a people, we need to have routine in our lives, because that way our bodies feel much easier to not manipulate, but to go through life.
Yeah. And there's this mantra Dutch people have.
What?
Rust, regelmaat en reinheid. Rust, reinheid, regelmaat. Calmness, cleanliness, and routine. And that's how they raise their children. With rust, reinheid, and regelmaat. And that's exactly what it is. And I see it peace of mind, cleanliness. It doesn't have to be, oh, it's very clean here, but organized, decluttered, clean in that sense, that when I declutter my closet, I already feel better. And then this routine, so important for all of us, especially in this age where you can just disappear into your digital device, and just your connection with the other people is just gone.
And not only with other people's, but your own self.
Yeah. Yeah, the Dutch people with their rust, reinheid, and regelmaat. And because, I moved so many times. And in the Netherlands, I only moved 3 times. I changed where I live. And it was very difficult for me to find the best way and to be better and to be stronger. And especially after the kids, I would feel so exhausted during the day from all this Dutch language here. You pay attention, try to understand, try to speak the system, new people. Everything is completely different. So I said, I have to do something drastic. And then I discovered the intermittent fasting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You discovered fasting this way?
I was searching for something drastic. And I bumped into this podcast, which is by a lady called Jean Stevens. And her first book was Delay, Don't Deny. And now she has a second one, which is called Feast, Fast, Repeat. And she invites different people. Every podcast has a different guest. And they talk about the story of this person. How from obesity they went to, healthy body. And I started doing intermittent fasting 3 years ago. And it was amazing. I would first skip breakfast, sometimes I would skip lunch, just have 1 meal a day. And after 7, I would finish my meal with small espresso and close the window. They call it the feeding window. You close the window, and then 19 hours later, I open the window, usually with some berries. So I wasn't swollen anymore. I wasn't sleepy during the day. I wasn't like after lunch usually I'll be, oh, I really need to lay down. I can't continue working. So I usually fast completely when I travel. So if I'm flying, I just don't eat. I don't eat anything.
For how many hours?
And sometimes 22 hours, and I feel amazing. And then I have a good meal with a lot of good fat and olive oil and greens and meat and fish, depending on what's available. And also it decluttered my mind because I don't need to think, oh my God, what am I going to eat now? What am I going to eat in an hour? I need to put something, in my mouth. And it also decluttered my mind, and I started being more organized and also more modest. I wasn't like I need to drink, I need to eat, constantly thinking, what am I going to consume? And everything also changed, also the behaviors that I had and the needs. More simple.
Yes, I agree on that. And actually, this delay, don't deny, right? I when I found this, like, just the name of the book, and I was like, what does it mean? I didn't understand it actually, but after that I was like, I tried many different diets in my life, like cutting sugar, cutting I don't know what. I tried to cut so many things, and it's not working this way. It's not happening actually. So what is happening is that you're cutting this. For example, you're cutting sugar, and in a month you are like, I want to eat all the sugar in the world, and you are like eating, and this is not healthy at all. So
Yeah.
delay don't deny worked for me exactly when I started doing fasting. I'm doing every day 16 hours fast. So, there are moments, for example, after dinner, my family always used to have cake for dessert, for example, because, my mother, she's a cake baker. So, in our house, there is always cakes and muffins and those kind of sweet things, French macarons also. So, I needed to change this habit of having not snack, but something sweet after dinner. And I was like, okay, it's late. It's 7:30. You're going to have something sweet tomorrow after your lunch. And this is your delay. You're
Yes.
delaying, and you don't feel like you will never have sweet again in your life. You're just delaying for later. And it really helped me.
Yeah.
Really. It was a big change in my life. And right now, I used to try fasting before as well, but I felt like I was starving because I was trying to eat like small amounts of food. I don't know, I tried crazy stuff. Right now, I'm doing those 16 hours. I'm eating good food. For example, something that worked for me is savory breakfast. I cannot eat sweet breakfast because my glucose levels, they are going and I'm getting absolutely crazy. So yes, savory breakfasts are very important for me. And also very important is to, how does the glucose queen said, but to dress, to put the clothes on your carbs. So I'm always eating veggies first, then protein, then carbs. So this way, actually, my body started feeling absolutely amazing. And right now, I'm eating a lot of food, actually. Like for breakfast, my boyfriend is always laughing, like, I could eat this for a lunch or a dinner. I'm, for example, eating 2 eggs with half avocado, with 1 big spoon of hummus, with a big bowl of salad from carrots and red peppers. This is a big meal, but you're not gaining weight from this thing. It's a good food for your body. Your body is like a car. It needs this fuel to drive, to do its own things. So when I did this, change in my life, when I started eating properly in my daily life, I never felt like I was starving during my fast.
Yeah,
So fasting is a good thing, and I love it.
I absolutely love it. And also mentally, the way you think about it, it's not a diet. I'm not excluding anything. I'm just delaying.
Exactly.
1 more hour, another hour. You're pushing it. And it's also simple. You don't need to make it so complicated. Count the calories, check this. Oh no, this one you separated.
Yes.
And then when your window opens, you're craving the good food. You're craving those eggs and those avocados and those bacons. I have the same savory, but only for lunch. Because once you stop having breakfast, when you do have breakfast again, it's too much. I have bellyache. I cannot have the breakfast anymore.
Yes.
Unless I have, I don't know, party circumstances or something else happening like monthly, then, then all of a sudden there's breakfast desire.
Yes.
Yeah.
And talking about parties, I feel we are about to wrap this episode. And once again, talking about parties, our next episode is about connections.
Yeah. Connection is so important to feel part of a community and, you know, socially to get those hormones flying
Happiness.
of happiness.
Yeah.
Thanks to the people you surround yourself with.
Yes, absolutely. We are going to talk about your connections with your family, with your friends, with communities, even. That is very important, I would say. This is actually the way that we met. So, one more good reason to talk about connections.
Absolutely. Being connected in a disconnected world. Let's strive for that.
Yes.
Namaste.
Namaste.